All right, guys, we got this. Let's go. Gun wide trip sweep. Pros X go. On one. Ready?
Ready.
What's going on, everyone? ANCAP24 here from HuddleGG. In today's video, we're going to talk all about RPO Read Flat and basically give you an understanding of how this play works from an offensive standpoint and how it works from a defensive standpoint, so you understand better how to stop it or how to run it depending on which side you want to be on this. This is a play that we actually put out in Madden 22. It was very effective last year. It was the first day it came out. We said this is the best RPO in the game. And to be honest, it was in a lot of the ways, right? This year, it's actually even more effective because of the way that the meta is out there to go ahead and play a lot of cover zero, a lot of man coverage, and you're putting yourself very vulnerable to this play if you don't know what you're doing, and we're going to clear that up for you. Now, the reason I want to do this is I want to kind of showcase a little bit of something that we have on our website that we don't talk about very often, and it's our Meta Buster section of the website. It's something that the subs get that we go ahead and break down on a week-to-week basis based upon how the meta changes, the best plays, the best tactics, the most popular ways people are having success in the game, and we teach you the solutions to it. There's three people that go ahead and meet pro players that basically sit down and say, what's going on out there? What can we do to make sure that our subscribers are ahead of the curve of knowing what's having a lot of success out there from an offensive standpoint, and how we can shut it down from a defensive standpoint, and vice versa, right? If there's a popular blitz that people are struggling on either picking up from a blocking standpoint or don't know how to attack it, we want to make sure that you guys don't struggle from the onset, that we get ahead of that and make sure that you guys have the solutions before. Now, one of the best valuable things on the website, 100%. We get a lot of compliments on it, but a lot of people just don't know what it is. And this week, we wanted to tackle the RPO Read Flat Wheel. And what we try to do in these videos, the first video, we always concentrate on teaching you the whys, teaching you how it works from an offense standpoint, why it works, why it's so popular, and if there's something to do in the programming, we want you to know that. If we're going to give you every little detail so that we can build up your knowledge of the game, it's going to help you in the middle of the game to understand why something's happening and how you can go ahead and make that adjustment. Whereas if you don't know why, and we just tell you to do this, and basically there's a new wrinkle and you don't know how to adjust to it, that's going to be something that you're not going to grow as a Madden player, and that is what we tried to make sure that we accomplish with the site. So let's talk about this and start off with calling over Storm Brave and the RPO Read Flat Wheel. Now, first thing I want to make sure you understand is that from an offensive standpoint, you get to understand who the two players are going to be in conflict based upon the defensive alignment. Okay, there's a R key and a P key. Let's talk about the R key first. That is the read key. What a read key is basically is that there are three options on this play. And the read key basically talks about the first option, which is basically, do I go after the running back or the quarterback based upon their exchange, right? If he goes and says, I'm going after the quarterback, he's basically going to play contain on him, and he's going to allow the running back to have, basically an easier run. And vice versa. If he says, I'm going after the running back, he's going to go charge down the line after the running back, and he's going to leave the quarterback open. The second option to this play, right? You have the first option is to hand it to the running back. The second option of this play is to go ahead and keep it with the quarterback, and you can either run the ball from that point, and the third option is to pass, okay? And that's going to bring up the P icon. His icon is basically stands for either a pass option or a pitch option, depending on the style of play. If this was going to be like a shovel option play where you can, hand it off to the running back, and then you can go ahead and, like a power option where you can toss it to a running back, that P option is going to basically play two ways. His first reaction can be towards the quarterback, to take the quarterback. The second option is to go ahead and take either the pitch or the pass route that is assigned to the play. If you see here, the pass route that's assigned to the play is the wheel. It's the red route, okay? So when you understand that, you can understand the reactions a little bit better, okay? So if I ran this play right now and I do nothing, what you're gonna see on the defensive side of the ball, I've got the ability that my outside corner is going to take the B receiver, the safety is gonna take the wheel, And my pitch defender is actually going to be a blitzer, so he's not going to do either of those. When they're on a blitz, they're going to blitz, okay? So we're in really good shape if we just call this. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead from the defense stand of the ball and do what a lot of people do and press, okay? When I pressed my defense, looks what happens. The pitch icon changed from the linebacker to now the outside corner. So why is this important to know? On both sides of the ball. On the offensive side of the ball, when you see that player, if he's in man coverage, he is no longer going to cover the B receiver. And the reason why is we told you that his responsibility, the way the game is coded, he's got two of them. To either go after the quarterback or to stay with the red route. So because that's his responsibility, he is not going to cover the B. And what's going to end up happening here, if I just go ahead and call this play, what you're going to see is that the B is going to get open, it gets the throw, you get a touchdown, and you're going to say you got glitched. That is 100% not the case. What happened was you changed up your defense to put your pitch key in a spot that is now vulnerable because he is no longer going to be asked to cover the receiver, and you're going to have to understand and recognize that, okay? And the thing is, I want to make sure that we're 100% transparent with that. You have no idea in the middle of the play who your pitch and read key are unless you've labbed it up, okay? And what does that mean? If from a defensive standpoint, I can look at this all day and it's not going to show me who my pitch key is and who my read key is. That is something that you're going to need to go into practice mode for your specific defense and say, this is what I like to run. This is what I intend on running if they come out in this formation. Where is my pitch key? Where's my read key if I do nothing? Where's my pitch key and my read key when I press? Where's my pitch key and read key if I'm a person who likes the baseline press, right? You need to find out your defense that you're using and seeing if you're putting yourself in a position that's going to hurt yourself, right? Most people are. And the reason why is because if they're heavy blitzers, they like to get everybody to the line of scrimmage and you're putting yourself at risk, okay? I'm going to go ahead and change out of this play. I'm going to go ahead and talk about other plays that are popular out there so you understand. Let's just go to spinner, right? Spinner is a popular one that people are going to run. And I'm going to go ahead and call that. And we're going to go ahead and call the RPO Read Flat. If I was to do nothing on this play, just leave it as it is, what you're going to see here is that the pitch key is actually a person that's blitzing. And you've got the RB and the B covered by those players. You're in good shape. Now, obviously, the person that is in the Y is going to kind of get open because the person he's supposed to cover him is coming from the left side of the field. But you need to know that as a user and say, I'm going to go ahead and cover the Y route and the RB and the B. The people that are supposed to cover them will cover them. Now, ratings will matter. I want to make sure you understand this. The one route that's going to be the tougher one to cover is going to be the RB. And the reason for that is because the safety will hesitate at times if he doesn't have a high play recognition, doesn't have high awareness. Basically, the play action could fool him if you're not pass committing. Okay, pass committing is going to take his reaction away from the running back. Now, when you do that, just understand that you're going to be a little bit more vulnerable against the run. So you need to pick and choose when you want to pass commit, when you don't. But pass committing 100% will go ahead and help you when it comes to going ahead and making sure that your safety plays the RB correctly. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and call this. You can see here that everybody plays the players they're supposed to play, and you're good to go. So it's not a matter of playing man coverage against this. A lot of people are going to say, what's the best way to play this? And they're going to give you different suggestions, and most of them are going to be zone. In this week's Meta Buster, we're going to break down what we feel are the best ways to do it, to where you can go ahead and shut this down. Also, stop the run, the 0-1 trap, and other plays in this. And we're going to give you specific solutions out of the game plans that we've already shown you as far as those formations. However, I want to make sure I show you in this video just a glimpse of some of the stuff we're going to teach when it comes to understanding that you can play man on this if you understand what you're doing, okay? So that's basically how that would work against spinner. But if I go ahead again and I, baseline press like a lot of people do, what you're going to end up seeing is that the pitch key is now basically on the right side, right? So right now we're still in good shape because I'm going to scratch that. The pitch key is actually the player that's covering the B receiver, right? Sometimes it's actually the pitch key is on the outside and the R key is on the player on where the pitch key is. But that's if I would have done it really, really quickly, or if I have baseline already set in my coach suggestions. So you have to do everything that you normally do to find out where your players are going to be, and it won't change. I can move this player over, and it will not change who is the pitch, who is the read key. So in this situation, I know from an offensive standpoint that if the pitch key is on the player that has the B over his head, he will not get covered, right? And again, we'll talk about that. A lot of people are going to scream that you're glitching out their man coverage, but you're not. Basically, you're taking advantage of their misalignment and their placement of their players to do it. So that's how that would work. I'm going to show you one more example. Make sure you understand what you should be doing when playing man coverage on this and different solutions, right? So if we go ahead and call something like nickel over, and we'll call the blitz, overload blitz, right? I'm going to just kind of use this as an example so we can kind of walk through this. This is a really nice play to do because of two things, right? If you look at the pitch key is actually the person that's blitzing. So again, we're not going to mess that up. Our two players on the right are going to be able to cover the players that they are. And then you've got the ability to have, more people to the ball when it comes to sending, pressure or whatever the case is. And so from a defensive standpoint, you're basically going to want to kind of use this guy and, whatever the case is, right? So if I go ahead and just hike this and do this, you're going to see that everybody's going to be in their spots, and this guy's going to come flying in because of the extra blitzer that we came from the opposite side, or the side of the running back, but he's going the opposite way. So if you saw this is a really effective play to use if you want to use man coverage, because nothing is getting changed. The pitch key's in the right spot, the read key's in the right spot, these guys are all covering the right people, and you've got an effective play, right? Now, what if I wanted to press these guys, right? So I go ahead and take my off defense, I go ahead and press them, and you see here that the read key is one player, the pitch is the other. You're going to have to do something to this pitch key or the player on the pitch key, or you're going to be in trouble. So if you look at the pitch key, he's the one that's supposed to cover the outside guy. So what do you do in this situation? You're going to have to man up, say, the outside guy to that player, and then say you're going to take the middle linebacker and you're going to man him up on the other player. So you just changed who you're manning up based upon what you've already pre-studied in the lab of how to make this work in order to make sure that the guys that are going to be in conflict are not manned up on the players that are running the routes. So if you just do it this way, what you're going to see is even though we've got double team here, I'm going to go ahead and run this here. You're going to see now the B's covered, and then the RB would have been covered if my linebacker didn't get caught up in the action. I'm going to go ahead and show that again so we can go ahead and do it the right way. But I want to make sure you understand at least this point, right? You can go ahead and reroute your players in order to make sure that you've got the ability to not get burned by this, right? So I'm going to go ahead and take this guy here again, put him on that player, and we'll do it to where now you're going to see that if that guy doesn't get held up, he's got the ability to go cover that guy, and everything's good. So there's two ways to correct man coverage if you want it. You can go ahead and make sure that you're not pressing, you don't have the P and the R key in the wrong places. And the second way is to know that if the P and the R are in the wrong places, how to man up the players that are in conflict in order to make sure that those guys are no longer having responsibilities on the ones running the routes. Now, this was just an explanation just to kind of give you one tiny solution, but on the Meta Buster, we're going to give you several different ways how to run this, out of zone, and how to do different things to make sure that you've got the best opportunity to stop these routes when they go out and them not being able to use this against you. I really wanted to teach today in this video what you're doing wrong to put yourself in conflict to make it more difficult on you. Hopefully you got that out, and I can't stress enough how you need to go into practice mode, call the defenses you want to call, and identify where that P key is and where that R key is, so that way you can make the adjustments for yourself based upon your defense. We encourage you to go to our website. We're going to give you solutions. If you don't want to do that, we're going to say do this. But I wanted to teach why you're doing it first, so you understand that, and that's what we do with the Meta Buster, right? Also know, you want whenever you do anything, flip the play. Make sure that the R and the P key, if you flip the play, say, this play is flipped, that the R and the P key are consistent on the other side for you, so you understand what is going on. Because if somebody's running it flipped, you're going to need to know that my defense that I like when the running back's on the right side, this is where the P is, this is where the R is. When the play is on the left side, this is where the P, this is where the R. Do not assume it's the same spot, because if you do that, you're going to get yourself in trouble. Want to make sure you understand that. So again, guys, I know this is a little bit of a lengthy video, but I wanted to really hammer in the whys behind things, why we teach the way we do on our website, so you guys get better and kind of get that knowledge that you're not going to find elsewhere, and be able to kind of understand that there is this resource in the Meta Buster that's really something it's powerful, that can really get your game up, and understand that when you see something, it's not the first time you're seeing it, because we've already taught you how to stop it when you see it, and that's just getting you ahead of the curve. We appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you on the next video.